Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the R&R Show. It's me, Rahdo, and that guy, Ruel Gaviola, and we're here to talk about games. Welcome.
Welcome. Yes.
First thing, can you hear us out there in the internet on YouTube or Twitch and or Facebook streaming live? Let's see. Amanda.
Amanda. Awesome.
AV is good. All right. So that's Twitch can hear us.
Yep.
All right, si senor. Anyone. YouTube can hear us, and right. I'm sure some Facebook folks will tune in as well and maybe let us know. But okay, we seem to be up and running, ready to go. And let's not beat around the bush. We got a lot of stuff to do today. But first, we got to pay the piper. We have to give a special shout out to our very special sponsor for this episode, Kittens. Cute, adorable, lovely kittens. Last week we had puppies. Of course, this week we had to have kittens. Aren't they adorable, Ruel?
They are super adorable. I mean, that's the only way you can talk about kittens is saying the words super and adorable. That's it.
I mean, I didn't put cats on. I didn't want to, be controversial or anything, but surely everyone loves kittens.
Right?
And if you don't, you can let me show you the door. Kittens are the bee's knees. And actually, speaking of kittens, last week our contest people sent emails to contestraw.com, and we just mentioned in passing, since our sponsor last week was puppies. Hey, if you send puppy pictures, it won't help, but it won't hurt. And so I got a few puppy pictures, but I got kitten pictures like 3-1.
3-1. It makes sense, right? I mean, kittens are the cutest things ever. They are adorable, or as the kids say, they are adorbs. Is that still a thing?
Do the kids say that?
I don't know. Maybe the grandkids.
I'll defer to you as the because I think I'm like all of a half a year older than you. So clearly you're the expert.
Yeah.
Actually, how old are you?
I am about a year younger than you.
Okay.
Friend.
All right. There we go. And apparently we're gonna be playing his cards close to his chest. Well, anyway. Speaking of contests, we have to crown a winner. As of an hour ago, almost 400 people had entered. And I'm very sorry, Ollie. Literally seconds before we went live, I got an email from Ollie saying, Captain, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But hang around and you can enter for the next contest. But first, we have to bring up the Wheel of Names, which you can actually find at wheelofnames.com. It's I spent a little bit of time yesterday trying to find nice animated things that would do this for us. It was Wheel of Names or a ninja name picker. And ultimately, I went with Wheel of Names just because I like the spinny nature of it. Maybe next time we'll use the ninja. But all I got to do is click a button, and one of these hundreds and hundreds of people will win a copy of Fort. Are you ready, Ruel?
I am ready. Good luck, everybody. Let's spin that wheel.
Go.
Ooh, I can hear
and there's sound even. Oh, excellent.
Wow. Look how fancy we are.
Yeah, we are high tech.
Ooh, what is this?
Adam Baldwin.
Congrats, Adam Baldwin. Well done. Yes.
Cool. Adam, you can expect an email from me after we're done with the show saying congratulations. And I'll, of course, need your mailing address. We didn't actually specify. A lot of people did already send their address in as if they'd already won. I guess that's kind of like the power of positive thinking that they were using. But yeah, Adam is today's winner. And don't feel bad if you didn't win, folks, because you have an opportunity to win again.
Yep.
So what is it? Oh, yes. Our new game we're giving away, which I've got a little screen for. Let me find it. There it is. Ruel, we're giving away a copy of Origins First Builders.
Nice.
Yes. Now, I don't know. This is not available yet, but I am very excited. I actually seriously considered putting this on our list last week of upcoming games I'm really excited for, because I'm very excited about this one. From Board and Dice designer Adam Kopinski. And this game basically asks the question, what if aliens really did visit us in the era of antiquities and helped us with all the 7 wonders of the world? Because in the game, the aliens are helping us build, and it's a 4X style civilization game, but with a sci-fi twist. And the thing that makes me most excited about it, Ruel, is there is no player versus player.
Yeah, and I know that's not really your jam. What is my jam is definitely the 4X, and I love the theme. It's a unique theme, right? Where the aliens are actually helping us build the civilization here. According to BGG, it's got worker placement with dice workers, and just knowing the other games from Board and Dice, you know that they design a lot of games with this type of mechanism. So I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, me too. We were joking yesterday about how we have to clearly state no cousins or second cousins are allowed to enter this, because I wouldn't mind getting a copy myself. Yeah, very stoked for it. So
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna have Michelle like type in and send her email address, but we're gonna make it available to everyone except people tied into the show itself.
Exactly.
Everyone has a fair shot.
So, Ruel, how do they win it?
Great question. So during the show today, friends, we are going to say a secret catchphrase, and just like Pee-wee's Playhouse, when we say it, one of us, or hopefully the other one, will catch us saying this word, and then we'll let you know when the secret word has been revealed, and then you will type that secret word into an email in the subject header. Just type in the secret word, send it to Rahdo.com, and we'll share that information.
Rahdo.com.
Contest at Rahdo.com.
When the moment comes up,
yep,
text will appear on screen saying what to do. We'll stop to explain it. And actually, we were talking right before we started that this is almost a little game between us, that we'll both be looking for an opportunity to just drop it into casual conversation, and we'll see if the other person notices. And if not, they will get scorn heaped upon them by everyone watching,
by the entire internet. Yeah, it's there for the world to see. So we need to stay sharp, friends. So that's gonna be sometime at some point during the show. Y'all will hear the word and get a chance to win Origins First Builders from our friends at Board and Dice.
Yeah. Ruel, these kittens have gotten enough free press. I'm done with them.
I think so. We need to change things up here. There it is. Look how nice and mellow that is.
Yeah.
Friends.
For folks who might notice our backdrop, and for folks who actually watched our little test yesterday, and we had a lot of discussion and debate about what to do, and ultimately we decided to just go with a simple black background. And after that test was over, I went out and did a search for John Oliver blank void from the Last Week Tonight show, because I love it so much. And I found somebody who recreated it on Reddit, and I said, okay, we got to put it up because I love the blank void, especially now that it talks back.
Right. You totally sold me on this too. I was ready to go with just the simple black background, and those of us in chat were talking about, but you know what? Once I saw this and you put it on screen, I was like, this works. I think classy. This works. Yeah. It's classy, and it just works.
Yep.
So hey, we went from kittens to this nice background, and why don't we talk about what's in front of you, Rahdo? What do you have in front of you?
Oh, sure thing. Yes. Yeah. What is on Rahdo's table? Well, if you got here early and were waiting during the 5-minute lead up, you might have figured it out already, but this is Flamecraft, which is a new worker placement game that's coming on Kickstarter next week. And I have I don't need to be advertising for Origins while talking about Flamecraft. Let's get rid of that. Boop. There we go. This is a very cool worker placement game where in this fantasy world, dragons work hand in hand with humans, because the dragons actually make all the goods. They bake bread, they cook meat, they raise plants. And so everybody has one really awesome little dragon miniature, and they're all unique colors.
Love it.
Although I should say, this is, you have the deluxe edition. I think of the regular edition, you'll have standees or something like that. And it's a worker placement game. You send them over to Hello Nursery, or the Smith Mart, or the Outback Drake House, or Draco Bell. There's lots of that kind of.
Are these the actual names? Really?
Yes, you could go.
Oh my god, I love
Draco
it.
Bell.
Draco Bell.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's not Dragon Meek that the dragon is cooking up at Draco Bell.
So I wonder if they have Draco Tuesdays as well. I mean, that
I have not played far enough to see. But the thing is, everybody has a hand of new artisanal dragons, and when you visit a space, you're going to activate it, get whatever goods are generated there by the ones who already work there. Then you can install a new dragon and upgrade the worker placement spot, and you will get rewards for doing this. So we're all in a race to basically turn all of these worker placement spots into super worker placement spots. So they evolve and change over time. And then on top of that, once a given space gets full, and the game only starts with 6 shops, we go to the deck and start bringing out more and more and more. So the worker placement options get bigger and more elaborate as the game goes on. And the more of those come out, the more opportunities we have to install artisanal dragons, which is one of the main ways we get points. So it becomes this, by the beginning of the game,
really
we're
cool.
a tiny, tiny little village. By the end of the game, we're a massive source of trade with tons of dragons all over the place. And every spot you go to is a combo-tastic explosion of opportunities because they've all got 2 or 3 dragons. Plus, we can put enchantments on them. All kinds of stuff. It's really cool. Jen, I like it a lot.
That looks amazing. The whole, like, when you're bringing out the new worker placement spots, it reminds me a little bit of Ex Libris, if you remember that one, where there are new right? There are new tiles that come out, different worker abilities, but this one seems like it's even ramped up more because you can, like you were saying, superpower some of the worker placement spots. So that's cool.
Yeah.
What's the time frame? So do you have a video coming out soon?
My run through will go live on Tuesday when the campaign goes live. Although people who got here early got to see a truncated 5-minute super sped up version of that run through.
Nice. Awesome.
Which I'm curious what people thought of that as a, hey, we got to wait 5 minutes. And I was just going to put a timer on screen. I thought, well, hey, I've got all this video content. Why not just give you something to look at, if nothing else?
Yeah. So let us know in chat, folks, how do y'all like that? I personally dug it. It was really neat to see, everything sped up, and it gives you a little more, eye candy, I guess it is, right?
Yep. Speaking of chat, we haven't said hello to hardly anybody. This is live. Let's say hey to the folks.
Yeah, so we got a lot of people hanging out on YouTube, of course, and we actually have a nice little audience happening on Twitch as well. So if y'all notice, we have Restream happening today, so you can all talk to each other because we don't believe in just one platform. We want to get the message out and share our passion for board games with everyone out there, whether you're on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, or what have you. So, of course, we said hi to Amanda Panda. Want to say hi to Kabuki Kid, as always, in here. Nice to see you, Kabuki Kid. Over on YouTube, we've got Jewel Yu, Monica, McFly. I love the fact that someone's name is McFly in there. Is that one of your regulars, Richard?
I don't know. I don't do enough live to actually have regulars, I think.
Tony Wynn is there. Victory BHG. Board Game Fangirl. Hi, Board Game Fangirl. Mr. Linguist is here. Mr. Linguist helped us out yesterday, I believe, during the live through. Hey, I want to shout out Black Board Gaming. Dwayne is in the house. Thank you for joining us today, Dwayne. Good to see you on here. We got all kinds of people in here. This is fun. Love it.
Yeah, what I'm curious about is we don't seem to have any Facebook people. And I just went over to Facebook and we're not streaming. I checked when we started and the preview was streaming. I saw, there was a countdown, but now there's nothing. What's happening?
I don't know what's up with that because it did have the countdown and it says we're going to live. We're live here. We're live on YouTube, Twitch, and so let's try to troubleshoot this. Is there a way to just host this?
I'm jumping into Restream right now, and when I've done this before, I haven't had to actually try to do any editing mid-show. But let's see. Can I edit? Can I? Right. Let's see. So it says it's in Facebook. I'm going to remove it from Facebook. Save. An error occurred. Please try again later. I'll try to add it back. Save. My apologies to all the Facebook fans out there. It seems to have failed, and we could spend the next 15 minutes calling the IT department, but I just don't know. If
you're looking at the IT department, folks.
Exactly. So I think, we will look into. I mean, it worked perfectly yesterday in the test. It was flawless. But of course, what's that thing about your plans are always great until they meet battle or something like that?
Oh, I was thinking of the Mike Tyson quote. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. So.
We just got punched in the face on Facebook.
Big time.
We got punched in the Facebook.
Yeah. Perfect. Yes. Shout out to DJ, one of the regulars. Kabuki Kid was here. I said hello to Crypt Talks, college football coach. Hey, college football coach, and Joris Zoon. We've got people from the Netherlands. I saw someone from Brazil. Oh my gosh. Y'all are amazing. Stream and Rahdo and Ruel speaking on the phone together. Yeah, you want that, Monica? We could I'll just call Rahdo and we'll just talk on the phone. So I'm calling about my ticket that I placed 3 hours ago. What's going on with Facebook?
Yeah.
Facebook punch. Yeah, we are getting punched. Oh, and Mexico's in the house. Norway's in the house. Oh, greetings, friends. This is great. So as Rahdo tries to fix that,
all I've done is I just did a quick post on Facebook saying, "Sorry, folks, Facebook seems to be non-responsive. Come join us on YouTube, and we'll do better next week. I promise. Although I don't promise because we've always relied on the kindness of strangers here at the R&R Show, and they let us down today. But okay, I think we have done enough warm up, and we should get to the main event, which is we're going to do a new top 10.
Yes, and what is the top 10? It's actually so I typed in the top 5 games of the year so far. We each have a top 5. So you those of you, I'm not that great at math, but I believe 5 plus 5 is 10.
Equals 10. That's my
Right.
point. I am saying
Okay.
between the two of us, we are going to come up with the definitive list of the best games that have been released in 2021 to date. And if anybody disagrees, they're wrong.
They are wrong.
Because we have a show. So so your 5 plus my 5 equals the top 10.
Yes.
Unless, of course, we have any overlap, because we have not actually worked out anything at all. I have no idea what you're going to say. Although I've got a pretty good guess it's at least one of them.
Yeah, I think you know one of mine. And I have a feeling I know one of yours as well. But we're going to find out real soon. Now, we do have a couple of caveats. So,
yes.
Number one, these games are released in 2021. You go to BGG, it's going to say 2021. Right. And the second thing is they must be readily available, right?
Yes.
So
there were a couple I really wanted to put on because I've gotten to play it. But if it's not out there in the world, not good enough.
Yeah, that's right. So all these games that we're talking about today, friends, you can go out to your local friendly local gaming store or one of the online retailers. You should be able to find it without any problem. So
I think some of mine might be sold out, though. I should.
Oh, really?
But still, you could get them at least at one point. And that's...
Okay. So you're gonna have to wait. And with all the shipping problems going on in the world, we don't know when some of these games are going to come back. So hopefully these are readily available. We shall see.
Yep.
Do you want to
who
start?
Goes first? Who starts?
Let's do rock, paper, scissors.
All right. Here we go.
Okay. Ready? So it's 1, 2, 3, a shoot. Okay, ready?
Right, okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
I went early and we both did scissors regardless.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Again. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
You got me.
Paper.
And they say it's a random chance. Nope. Somehow I always lose. All right. But, okay. So you won. What did you win? Going first or making me go first?
I'm going to go first, and that way you will have
pull up Board Game Geeks. We got to show people pretty pictures.
Yep. So Board Game Geek. Oops. See, that's what I should have been doing when I was here, but now, you know what it was? I need to stop sharing this one and start sharing this.
Oh yeah, because we are done with the Wheel of Names,
and I have the chat right there. That's going to move over here.
Yep.
So What's first game, my number 5. Friends is, and now I want to preface this by saying I actually had a list of 5. I had to change at the last minute due to our restrictions.
Yeah.
So my number 5,
self-imposed restrictions.
Yeah, self-imposed restrictions. I'm going to type it in here, folks. It is the What Not Cabinet.
Oh, excellent choice, sir.
Thank you. I love this game. So Michelle and I, we're big fans of tile laying games and anything that's got that sort of like puzzly feel to it. This one has it in spades. This is from designer Steve Finn with some help from I don't know help, but Steve Finn is the big name that I recognize right off the bat. Eduardo Barath and Keith Matecha.
Yeah, I mean, Keith is, if I recall correctly, the designer of what do you call it? Role player,
yes.
Cartographer, role player cartographers. Yes. So Keith's actually a fairly big name.
Yeah.
Helping out.
And he runs Thunderworks games as well, I believe.
Yeah. I think that maybe Keith did the solo mode, if I recall correctly. It's something like that. Yeah,
that's right. And then art by Kim Robson, and of course, I'm a huge fan of Beth Sobel. So anytime I see Beth's name, I love it. So it's a tile laying game. You have you have a curio cabinet. So all these random little bits and pieces that you find, I guess, on the beach or whatever, you are going to place into these cabinets. And what I like about this one, when Michelle and I live streamed it, what we found really unique and really interesting about this game is the action, like the sort of action selection. How do you call it? Turn order, sort of like what's that game? King Domino.
Yep.
Yeah, where you're gonna select when you're gonna go right now on this turn, but then it also sets you up for future turns, and then you're going to be selecting from the tiles here, and you're going to collect sets of them, right? Colors and or different types. But what you're doing is just like King Domino, you're going across in this little 3x3 grid. Is it 1, 2, 3? Yeah, 3x4 grid. And as you collect them, you're going to score them going across and also up and down as well, vertical and horizontal. Mm-hmm. There are different, you can see the cards here, different goals that are public objectives, and then I believe you also have one in hand. Is that right, or is it 2 in hand?
I have not played it since it was on Kickstarter. I mean, you have me a disadvantage. This could have potentially made my top 5. I remember loving it so much when I covered it.
Yeah,
it's so incredibly tension filled.
Exactly.
Every step, you are just sweating with, oh, can I get that one thing? Can I get it into this? How do I fit all this stuff on this crappy cabinet?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah. And that's the feeling we got too, is like we always wanted a lot more than we could do on that turn. Like I always have one tile, but then it's like, oh, I know Michelle's going to take that one, but I need this one. And that's the entire game there. And what's beautiful about it too, Rahdo, is that it's only like a 20 to 30 minute game, right?
And a lot of game and a lot of punch in a very, very tight package.
Yeah, that's exactly how to describe it. A lot of punch. And I find that true of a lot of games from Pencil First. They also do Herbaceous. They do Sunset Over Water. These beautifully, produced games that aren't that big as like size physically, but there's a lot of game in each one. So that's the Whatnot cabinet. That is my number 5 of 2021.
An excellent choice. My number 5 is kind of something in this kind of the same vein. Flourish.
Flourish.
I don't know if you've tried it yet.
Is this also from Pencil First?
No, it's not.
No. Okay.
You wouldn't be surprised for thinking it. It's a gorgeous game. It's a very simple, like Whatnot cabinet, a kind of abstract grid making game. Instead of placing tiles onto a cabinet to score points, we're drafting for cards, 7 Wonders style, and ultimately over the course of the game, we will by the end have made a 3x4 grid, and all of these cards have opportunities to score based on adjacency. And that's just the base game. The game comes with like 2 or 3 different expansions worth of content. So you can really, you can play it almost as a gateway, or you can really ratchet up the complexity as you turn on more and more features, like little follies, which are neat little 3-dimensional like gazebos and whatnot that you have to put in certain spots. Like Whatnot cabinet, this game is just full of agonizing tension of I'm gonna put this here because I know in the next round I have to put this next to it. Will I get it? Because you throw in the extra tension of card drafting, 7 Wonders or Sushi Go style. But here's why I love it. What puts it above? This is not just I pick a card and then I hand the rest to you, Ruel, and then you hand some to Michelle. Right. I play the card I want, and then of the remaining cards I've got, I give one to you and one to my other neighbor on the other side. And then I keep the rest for myself for a future round. So you have a lot more interaction, and you have multiple direction, interaction with trying to. I got to give something to Michelle. I got to give something to Ruel. And I can see what you're doing over there, Ruel. I can't give you this, but I don't need it. Am I going to give it to Michelle? I think so. Here you go, Michelle. And then she surprises me, and it turns out she had a secret goal that wants that kind of thing anyway. It's really, really good. It produces, I think, even more incredible tension. And it's an insanely high-scoring game, too. So it's really satisfying by the time you pull it off the end. And it even comes with a campaign mode where you can play like an epic game of like multiple sessions, and you earn medals, and you're trying to get like best of show type thing. There's a lot in it. It's really very, very cool. My number 5.
Oh, that's
Flourish.
So cool.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about how you can ramp it up. You can start with a gateway, but you add modules in. Do you play with all the modules already in? Or
of course we do. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, we just jumped right into the deep end. And
awesome.
Loved it.
Yeah, that reminds me of like Taverns of Tiefenthal, where you can start with like just a base game and just build it up depending on who you're playing with, right? I always love games that do that. Cool choice. I love it. Okay, so let's move on to our number 4. My number 4 is, let me go over here. I'm going to type it in. Type. Everybody, type. Embarcadero.
From AEG, right?
No, this is from Renegade Game Studios.
From Renegade Game Studios, right?
Yeah. Yes. So here's Embarcadero.
Sorry, Renegade. You guys are awesome too.
This is I didn't expect to like this game as much as I did, because it looked a little plain to me on the cover. Like you just have a couple of like entrepreneurs, turn of the century entrepreneurs in San Francisco. But just reading about this, and okay, full disclosure, I got to interview the designers, Adam Buckingham and Ed Marriott. For Renegade's Friday radio show, and it was just really fascinating to hear how they were inspired just by a podcast. Ed is just a fan of history podcasts, and he was listening to this about the whole San Francisco turn of the century era, and they decided to create a game out of it, which was fascinating to me. And this really captures that sense of, hey, we're starting with something. It's the wharf here. You'll see. Well, these pieces are all falling apart.
It's basically a 3-dimensional area control game.
Yeah, 3-dimensional area control, and you do sort of do this like really neat. Here it is right here. So these are all the cards. You're going to build it up 7 Wonder style where you get resources on subsequent rounds based on the cards that you play. And it's really a neat little mechanism where you have a hand of cards, you play one, then you must buy one, and then you must store one for the next round. So you're doing all these things at once. You're doing something immediately, but also setting yourself up for a future round. So what do you want to build? You also have the characters here. As you can see, I actually played Jenny Carter here. They have asymmetric player ability, so everyone's going to get something different every round or a different ability that they can do. You talked about the area majority or area control. This is how it builds up. And depending on who has control of each little peer here, you're going to get points depending on, first of all, who has a majority, but then also you have the different, I don't know if the cards are, you can barely see the cards here, different goals that you can score. Yeah. I believe it's a 3-round game. It moves really quickly and streamlined. I really enjoyed this. These are also the designers who did what was that game? The one about peppers, Scoville. They're the team behind Scoville.
That was an excellent game too. I didn't realize the Scoville connection.
Yeah. So this is. Have you been able to play this one? Rahdo?
No, I have not. Although in the chat, Shay Parker, a regular contributor who covered it for the Rahdo Runs Through channel, he says he loves it. And if you want to know more about it, folks, you haven't played it, go check out Shay's run through. Just do a search for Rahdo Embarcadero, and you'll find it. It's really clever. Here's why Shay covered it instead of me. I was nervous, Ruel, and you could tell me that in a 2-player game, it would be a little bit more confrontational than Jen and I would like. With higher player counts, it's going to be more live and let live. Look, I'm just trying to do my thing as opposed to, in a 2-player game, I could totally cut your thing off. Is that the case, or was I being overly sensitive, Sally?
No, that is the case. I played a 2-player game with my buddy Daryl. He's a regular contributor on my Twitch channel, and we like games like that. We'll talk trash and we'll fight against each other. But yeah, there is definitely conflict there. I am curious to see how this plays at 3 and 4 though, because just with the area
fantastic.
With the area majority thing, that definitely changes when you have more players.
All right.
Excellent.
Number
excellent
4.
Game. That's my number 4.
And by the way, shout out to the chat, DJ, listening to us while working on glass. Jen applauds you.
Be
might
careful
be working
too.
on glass at this moment as well. Yes, and do be careful.
Please
it can
be
get
careful.
hot and sharp. Jen's got the cuts to prove it. Okay, so that was your number 4. So we're on to my number 3.
Your number 4.
My number 4. Yes, I jumped the gun there. Overboss.
Overboss. Oh yeah.
Are you now rethinking your list?
I am rethinking my list. I loved Overboss.
Overboss is fantastic.
Yes.
If I recall correctly, one of the designers was it Ken Russ or Kevin Russ, I think?
I just let me go back there.
You can go back.
I think it was Kevin Russ.
Yeah, Kevin Russ is the co-designer on it, and Kevin Russ was the designer on Calico. Kevin Russ is a name to watch. He was also a co-designer on Cascadia as well. Or I think he was the developer on Cascadia. But this is a game where players are trying to make the best overworld. If you think classic 8-bit or 16-bit Legend of Zelda style game, you remember literally Zelda Link to the Past? You are making a Zelda Link to the Past world doing drafting. Every round, there are environment and monster tiles that are put out into the draft area, and they are paired together. So if I really want that swamp, I have to take that skeleton that's associated with it. But I don't want that skeleton. I want that goblin that's over there with the forest, and I don't need that forest tile. And so, again, every round, this is a constant thing with all these games, very tension-filled, really just constantly having to make tough compromises. Well, I got to pick that or that. I can't have both, and they're going to be gone. So I'll do that. I'll take a chance that I'll be able to fill that up with more graveyards or whatever it is. Now, I'll be honest. This is a great game. Cascadia might eclipse it. Cascadia does similar things, but Cascadia is a beautiful, lovely, charming game about building the biome of the Pacific Northwest. This is about building 8-bit Legend of Zelda dungeons and overworlds. And so, of course, as I was a former Nintendo employee myself, I've got to give the nod to this one just because the theme works so wonderfully. It is just a blast. Great little quick playing, tile drafting, tile laying game. Again, just making it's a little grid. I think it's 4x4. Maybe even 3x4 if there's I forget if there's a way you could tighten it up, but great stuff. And by the way, if you watch my run through, the box came with a bunch more stuff. They threw a bunch of stuff in this game.
That's right.
A big
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's like you start the base game, like the basic or standard game is like a 4x3 grid. Then for the advanced one, you can go to like 4x4, just add a few more things.
Okay. Oh, it goes the other way. It gets bigger. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a fun.
And Gray Deceiver from the chat points out Tumbletown from Kevin Russ. Correct, sir. And excellent. Another town building game using dice, drafting dice to build an old West town. Another fantastic game. Kevin Russ. Everybody. I'm not saying you put him up there on a pedestal next to Stefan Feld yet, but he's working on it.
Yeah, when it comes to Tile Lane, definitely someone to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
I mean, This game is wonderful. I actually do you remember? Did you ever play Boss Monster? It's like the same world from Overboss games.
That is making a side scroller, right?
Yes, make it with cards.
Yes, we did play it once, and we thought it was really, really cool.
Yeah,
but it did have a lot of it'd be a shame if something bad happened to your dungeon over there.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking. Like, I prefer Overboss to the Boss Monster. I think this one just overall it's a better game in my opinion. And for those of us who are Care Bears, this is the one to play right here.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
that is Overboss. Nice number 4. That one surprised me. That was a really good one.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, so
what's your number 3?
My number 3, and we actually debated this before we went on air. Is this readily available? And we decided it is because right now it's a Target exclusive. But
what is it, Ruel, for the people listening in the podcast later?
It is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition.
There you go.
This is a standalone expansion, a standalone game in the Terraforming Mars world. But oh boy, I love Terraforming Mars, and I've said this a few times since this game came out. I believe I like or love Ares Expedition better.
Prove it. Show us the pictures.
Oh, pictures.
You're just going to make us look at text for...
Yeah, look at this text, folks. Let's read about Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. But there it is.
That's interesting. Chris Logston says he's seen it for sale at Barnes & Noble. Maybe the exclusivity deal is over.
Okay, so there it is. I just checked before we went online with Amazon. I didn't see it there, but maybe, perhaps it's starting to get out there. This gives me all the feels and all the gameplay that I want in Terraforming Mars, but in half the time. And I love that about this game. It's still card-driven. You're still drafting cards, but it introduces a Race for the Galaxy action selection mechanism, which I believe works really well here. And because you're doing that, it's simultaneous play, so you're not always waiting for someone to take their turn. You can do stuff at the same time. You're trying to terraform Mars, and it's a race to get all the points and I think it's Terraforming Mars, or is it Terraforming Points? I forget what they're called. But as you can see on the pictures here, we're sharing the pictures. The components are still cubes and stuff. But what I really appreciate about this, I'm going to go back to this picture. The art, it no longer looks like this, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like those stock photos that came in the original game. I mean, this is like, it's really consistent throughout the game, the art style. It's not just like a random picture of a dog or, just those, Terraforming Mars, folks. Well, anyways, the components also, the player boards, another thing that really irks a lot of players. Like you actually have a picture of them. Oh, yeah, let's show the picture. You actually have the dual layered player boards right here. So your cubes
you kind of do. You do if you had backed on Kickstarter and got the deluxe edition.
True.
The straight to retail exclusive does not have the double layer boards. It still just has kind of the thin cardstock like the original.
Oh, okay.
And I was just actually asking Kabuki Kid in the chat said, people should definitely go out and get the hobby edition, which is the one you're talking about. And I replied, can people get it? I'm not sure if it's going to be available right now, or if that was, you had to back it when it was on Kickstarter back in, I think, January or February. I'm not quite sure.
Interesting. Okay, so the version that I played, a friend of mine had it. I assumed he got it at Target and then got the retail version. So these boards then are only available for the Kickstarter version. Is that correct?
I believe so. We are not we are not the Wikipedia of the board game industry, but that's my understanding. Right. Now, for folks who can't get those nice deluxe dual layer boards that just hold those cubes so tight and keep them warm and comfy throughout the night, my solution, of course, is Funtack. Funtack. Always keep a wodge of it stuck right here on your table. And then when you play a game where the cubes might go wild, just put a little bit of Funtack on every cube in your set.
There's
a pro tip for you.
I learn something new every time we do this show. That is incredible.
You come to my house. There is a wodge of this on every flat surface in the house, just waiting to be grabbed. Brilliant. It's better than duct tape.
Yes. So that's my number 3 of 2021 so far, Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna go on Amazon right now and look for some of that fun tech, because that was a great hack.
You will not regret it. That is like #1 gaming accessory you just got to have.
Mhm.
Jen uses it for all kinds of stuff. She just,
Nice.
I mean, if we were to play Ticket to Ride, she will put it on her score token so that we don't have a. Remember the Will Wheaton tabletop incident?
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
where
they
his
hit
wife,
the table.
punched it and then everything went flying. Not Jen's score token. That's
Nice.
never moving anywhere because she's always got a little bit of blue tack, a little bit of fun tack at the ready.
That's brilliant. Now, do you have any thoughts on this game, Rahdo?
My thoughts are it's fantastic. I would play it 7 ways to Sunday over the original Terraforming Mars because, as you said, it plays in half the time. I mean, you do lose some stuff. You lose the planet. You do lose like kind of the area creeping domination stuff, and that's not an insignificant part of the game. But I will happily jettison that to play the game in under 2 hours because this is under an hour basically. And I mean, I really love the melding of the Race for the Galaxy style, card following system. Although I think it does it better than Race for the Galaxy. It actually improves upon the Race for the Galaxy or San Juan formula, and that's significantly important. My only problem with it was, if I had one complaint, it was like the original Terraforming Mars. There's no player scaling really. If you're going to play it as a 2-player game, you have to do 4 players worth of work. Yep. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of people love it best that way because we get to do more stuff. But Jen and I, when we played it, we'd get like, we're 2/3 of the way through the game, and it feels like the game should be over now. And you know what? If it was a 4-player game, it would be over now because but we still got a lot more of Mars to terraform with only the 2 of us. So that kind of bugged me a little bit. I have every intention of taking the solo mode has a really great automa character you can bring in, and I think it would work well to bring it in as a 3rd player so that it would kind of speed the game up, very much like what Roll for the Galaxy does with when you play a 2-player game. You've got the extra die roll that replicates a 3rd player. So that's what kept it off my list. Just that one little tweak. Otherwise, this would have been in my number 1 or my number 2. Really, I'm wondering why is it your number 3? What the heck is coming? Jeez.
I know it's actually I was thinking too.
Mars won't terraform itself, says Eric Melman.
Right.
Words to live by.
So I've not been able to play this multiple times. But do you feel like in the original Terraforming Mars, when players that had knowledge of the cards, they sort of had an advantage over players who just play it for the first time?
I've certainly heard that plenty of times. But I only play with my wife, and everything I know, she knows. So I am not an expert.
Okay.
But that was a solid number 3. What?
Okay, so you don't think the knowledge of the cards will gain you an advantage over?
It could very well.
Okay.
Oh, you're very fine. You really.
That was twice.
Folks, the secret word is knowledge. You got me. You got me good.
Yes. There it is, friends. Please send the email with the secret word in the subject line to contest@rahdo.com.
I just thought it was a genuine question. It was a good question. It was good discussion.
It just came to me. I was like, ooh, this is the perfect opportunity. I've been trying to figure it out, but friends.
Put the secret word back on screen.
Yes, there it is.
The secret word, and this is for folks listening as well later on, knowledge, spelled with a K at the beginning. Yes, English is weird. Send, as Ruel said, put the other one back up.
Yep,
send an email to contest@rahdo.com with knowledge as the subject. You can do whatever else you want. Basically, I've got Outlook set up to say, anything that has knowledge in the subject that went to contest@rahdo.com goes into this folder. And a week from now, I will export from that folder and we'll go back to the Wheel of Names and somebody will win the big Origins, which is really what you folks are here for. Now that we'll have to check the analytics afterwards and see if there's a big drop off right at this point. Now that we've given away the secret word and people are like, okay, I got mine, Jack.
We got it.
I'm out of here.
So, friends, again, knowledge, type that in the subject line. Send that email to contest@rahdo.com. Oh, I'm so glad I got you. I was so afraid that I was going to miss it.
No, that was well done, sir. I completely forgotten.
Thank you.
All right, so that was your number 3. You don't even care about the knowledge question.
Yeah.
Let's go on to my number 3.
Okay.
I think I've got a good feeling this will not be the only time this is talked about today. My number 3 is Cubitos.
Oh, Cubitos. Now, I have a little Spanglish to me, so
Cubitos.
Cubitos.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yes.
Will this show up on my list? You shall see, friends.
We shall see. He's only got 2 more to go. And what could beat Terraforming Mars Ares expansion? I think Cubitos, maybe. Folks, you can take bets now if you're watching live. But yes, this is a wonderful little racing game. It's actually an interesting expansion to a game designed by David Short that came out a few years ago called Automobiles, which was kind of a NASCAR racing simulation, but it's a bag builder where every round you're pulling cubes out of your bag, and over the course of the game, you're putting more cubes in there. In the original game, it was really just cubes that represented, if you're putting the pedal to the metal or you're, giving more handling or stuff like that. With Cubitos, the cubes have changed into actual dice. And so you pull dice, and over the course of the game, you put more and more dice into this bag, and you draw a handful of them out every round, and you roll them. And then maybe you re-roll them, because you don't like what you got, and maybe you re-roll them some more, and then you think I should really stop, but no, I'm going to re-roll some more, and you bust and you get nothing. Yes. It's an excellent, it's wonderfully clever and inventive push your luck game fused with a deck builder or a bag builder in this game, fused with a really excellent racing game, because the racetracks, and I think the game comes with 4, if I recall correctly.
Yep, that's right.
Each one is different. They have really unique flavor, all kinds of special things that you try to hit as you're zipping around with your little cube creatures, and so much replayability, because the different dice, every time you set up, you're going to draw a unique card for each of the different dice colors that will change what those dice do. And so, this has the replayability of a Dominion style thing, but then crossed with so many other things. This game is just mind-bogglingly brilliant. And to be fair, Automobiles was a fantastic game too, but this so takes it to the next level from John D. Clare, Mr. Mystic Vale, and it's very different than what John D. Clare has kind of gotten known for with all his card crafting stuff. And man, he knocked this out of the park. My number 3. Cubitos.
Cubitos, I agree. That's such a wonderful game. Love it to death. And I'm gonna stop commenting there because it may show up again real soon. Yeah.
All right, I will stroke my chin knowingly.
Yes.
So what we have advanced knowledge, but it's too late. I missed my window.
That would have been perfect.
It would have worked.
It totally would have worked. So now we are on. Let me see. That was 1, 2, 3. This is my number 2.
Number 2. What do we got?
All right. My number 2, I'm going to go here and type it in, is Cryo.
Ooh, from Tom Jolly and
Luke Laurie.
The design team behind the Manhattan Project Energy Empire, yes.
That is correct, yes. Which I have not played yet, but I believe it's one of your favorites. Is that correct?
Yeah. Manhattan Energy Empire is in my top 20 of all time. I think it is arguably the greatest worker placement game of all time, quite frankly.
Ooh, okay. I do love me some worker placement, and this one really
worker placement as well. Yeah,
this is a worker placement. I love any kind of sci-fi theme. I'm a sucker for. But what I really appreciate about this, what's unique, is it's got that, your typical worker placement. You send out your drones, do the things, then they come back. They're going to eventually come back. You recall them. But the recall step is what's really cool about this game, because when you recall, it's got engine building to it. So you're going to have different resources pop up when you bring the your drones back. So you're not always just, when I first played it, I was like, send all my drones out and then bring them back. But no, you can actually send one drone out. It's like, I have something I want to do on my platform again. I can bring it back and do it right away and get more resources. Oh, I love this game. And it's such a clean design. It plays in under 90 minutes or so. And actually, my buddy Daryl and I, we live streaming. I think we knocked it out in like 45 to 50 minutes. So you're building, your platform, adding vehicles, trying to grab the pods, the humans, to get them to under the surface where it's safe, right? And you're going to send them down here, and that's where the area majority scoring comes in. Whoever has the most pods in each little cavern, they're safe. And it does have some of a meanness to it, but it's not direct.
I don't really think so.
Right? It's not direct. It
doesn't bother us as a Care Bear.
Okay, good. Because it's more like it's going to happen regardless. It's not like, I'm planning to, kill you. It's part of the whole what is it called? Sabotage. It's part of the game. It's
yeah. It's so minor. It's so inconsequential. Yeah. Actually, we found as a 2-player game, it's literally the last thing you want to do, the sabotage action, because it's significantly weaker. And a higher player count, it is a stronger action. I could see doing it more often. But as a 2-player, it's literally, oh my gosh, there's anything I could do would be better than this right now. It doesn't put me ahead enough to warrant trying to slow you down, which I really appreciate. I think it's fantastic too. It didn't make my list, mostly because I did have a complaint about the 2-player, which is they could have done a little bit more for final scoring for grabbing those caverns, because it's whoever gets the most of your survivors into those caverns scores those caverns. And as I recall, basically, hey, if you got 5 things in there, you get first place. And then if I only get 1, I get second place. And that drives me nuts.
Oh, okay.
They don't do the extra little bit of work to say, oh, well, you know what? To be able to get second place, you had to have come in at least within 2 of whoever got first place. You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, oh, yeah, look, you're really doing well there. I'm not even going to try and fight you on it. I'm just going to. And we found that through equilibrium, oh, I'm strong in one, you're strong in the other. And it was just missed that one little thing that really catapulted it. But the engine building, when you recall, and the worker placement, when you send them out, both of them, fantastic. Really, really good design.
Yeah, I love that part.
To play multiplayer someday, or higher than 2.
Right. That's interesting. So as far as like a 2-player version, could you do like a dummy player? Like,
it'd be so easy.
Dummy cubes,
all you have to
right?
do is say, you know what? Just assume that in every small cavern, somebody has already got 2 things there. In every big cavern, somebody's already got 4 things there. And so if you want to take first place, you got to beat what's already there. If you want to get second, you got to beat what's already there. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in third.
Right.
Simple little things that you see it on some games, but I do think over time it's going to become more of a standard thing to do in these kinds of, either progress tracks or area majorities, that for a 2-player game, just replicate a 3rd player that you got to beat. If you don't, because otherwise, I just got 1 cube. Give me half the points, please.
Yeah.
I didn't earn half the points. So that was just the minor thing that bothered me. If I recall correctly, I could be wrong, but I think that was like the only thing. But otherwise, fantastic choice. Great suggestion. Wonderful components.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Okay, so that's my number 2. Now we're moving to your number 2.
My number 2, yes, is Funfair.
Oh, Funfair.
Yes.
Interesting.
You're going to have to rethink your list again after I'm done talking about Funfair. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, to the chat, some folks are asking, really, Energy Empire? Doesn't Rahdo like Agricola more? Yes, I like Agricola more than Energy Empire, but what I said is Energy Empire, I think, is the better worker placement game, because the worker placement in Agricola is kind of, it couldn't be more bog standard. There's nothing special or exciting about it, whereas Energy Empire just has some of the best worker placement systems ever. And quite frankly, and Cryo is really fantastic for that too. But anyway, let's now talk about my number 2, going to the Funfair, which is interesting. The game actually came out several years ago, and it was originally called Unfair, because it was a game where every player is trying to make their own carnival, funfair, attraction-filled location. And in Unfair, it was full to the brim of, I will destroy you. Yeah. I will destroy your Disneyland knockoff. And it's literally called Unfair for a reason. And everybody agreed that it was a phenomenal design, and everybody, every Care Bear agreed, boy, I wish I could play this game. And so the publisher wisely brought out a sequel, called it Funfair, took out all the nastiness, all the backstabbiness, all the cutthroatiness, and just let us live and let live as we compete to make the best possible Funfair as we can. This is a game about card drafting, hand management, and trying to play with very meager resources the right cards. And your choice is always, am I going to make a bigger amusement park that doesn't have fancy rides, or am I going to be smaller and upgrade the heck out of those rides by playing more and more cards to fewer? So do you go wide or do you go tall? Literally, it's represented by the card you're playing on board, and every step of the way from start to finish, it is so compelling. The thematic trappings of this game are second to none. Everything about this game feels like it's thematically grounded in what we're actually trying to do. Nothing feels abstracted, even though this is just a card drafting game. And so it's a masterpiece for that. And then the other thing that I really love, it does at the beginning of every round, and I forget, I think we play through 3 rounds, maybe it's 4. But at the beginning of every round, we draw an event card. And in any other game, that would be, let's draw an event card and let's have it smash everybody into the dirt. And except, bad event cards, I think, are always kind of a sort of lazy design, because they're a way to create excitement. But inevitably, some people are not bothered because, I wasn't investing in that thing that was ruined by the event card, and other people. So it adds this sling lock. Here, the events are all positive, and they're universally positive. Sometimes positive events don't work either, because I'm not in a position where I can take advantage of that, but Ruel is. And again, it's luck swinging. But here, the events are so well designed so that everybody can make use of them. Everything about this game is top tier. This is up there with your Race for the Galaxies, with your Rays Arcanas, with your. It is not getting nearly as much attention as it should as one of the premier thematic modern, Euro-y card games out there. And both Jen and I were totally blown away by it. I really hope it gets more expansion content, but even if it doesn't, it has so much in that box. It's my number 2.
Wow.
Funfair. And honestly, I'd be willing to bet it's probably the first one that we've talked about so far that I'm relatively confident has a chance of making it into my top 10 at the end of the year also.
Ooh, okay.
Because more games are coming, Ruel.
Right, of course. We're only halfway through the year.
Yeah.
You'd mentioned how you feel like this one's not getting as much attention as it should. I feel like, and this is true for me, that because I didn't really like Unfair, I just assumed Funfair was just an expansion to this. Yeah,
you're right.
Right. So it sort of, I just sort of had that negative connotation. I was like, okay, so I totally just overlooked this. But now that you explain it, I'm like, okay, that sounds like something I would really enjoy.
I think you would. I think
because Unfair, as much as I like player conflict, Unfair it was like I build something and then you tear it down. You build something, I tear it down. That was unfair to me. I was just like, okay, that's the game. It's not really my jam. But this, if you're it's positive and like you were talking about the positive events, I totally want to play it now, and I would totally give this a chance. And perhaps that's why it's been sort of overlooked because of that negative connotation.
All right.
Okay.
So number 1 for I'm betting it's Cubitos.
Okay, so the Whisper is out. The Secret is out. This is my number 1.
There you go.
Actually, I had it was either this or it's gonna be. It could have been honestly any of the games on my list. I really all 5 of them have been really big hits with me, my friends, family. But Cubitos, I love John D. Clare. I'm a big fan of his games. Space Base, Mystic Veil. What's the other one? Edge of Darkness.
And then Custom Heroes, I think.
Custom Heroes, the trick-taking one.
Yep.
But he gets away from the card crafting here. And I thought it was a great move because this basically is Quacks of Quedlinburg, the dice game.
Oh, that's an interesting way to put it.
Right? And so you start with your standard things and you're slowly building them up. But me personally, and this is just my personal preference, I would much rather roll dice than reach into a bag and pull out chits. That's just my personal choice. And it's a fun, really element of, we talked about the race mechanism and just, it's first across the finish line. This works perfectly for it. Michelle and I have played this several times. Just the 2-player version works. I've played it with my buddy Daryl as well. I haven't played it at 3 or 4, but I imagine it scales well. It's a bag builder, dice builder, folks. It's so much fun. And the one thing the only complaint I have is just the weird box Cubitos, like the whole theme is sort of strange.
Is that a turnoff for you guys? I thought it was just wonderfully charming.
Oh, really? I just, okay, you know what? The box.
Show a picture of find a picture of the race cars, which are these strange little cubic. These cubic critters.
Yeah, I have it's weird, like a monkey, a sheep. But then look at the box. Let me get the box image on screen real quick. If you see it, doesn't this the first thing I look at is what's SpongeBob SquarePants doing on this box?
I honestly don't think that was putting their best foot forward.
Yeah. So I mean
that's a great card. That's the stinky cheese.
Stinky cheese or the big cheese or whatever. There's different, that's one thing I do really love about the game too. Just is this like Quacks where each thing can be the dice are different depending on which card you use for that particular game.
Yes.
You talk about the big cheese. It's also called the stinky cheese, and there's several different variations on that.
Of what the yellow die will do. Yeah. It's fantastic.
So, it really is.
I can't blame you. Honestly, it would have been my guess for your number 1. I figured your number 1 was either going to be Terraforming, Ares, or Cubitos.
Yeah.
And it's my number 1. And it means we have some overlap, which means, folks, you're going to get involved. After we finish my number 1, we are going to have We're going to have 1 missing, right? Because we'll have only named 9 of the year. So we're going to turn it over to you. So start talking about what do you, the audience, think is number 1 after we finish with my number 1. Yep. Get typing, sir. Imperium. And you could do Imperium Classics or Imperium Class or something.
Okay.
And it's there's 2 games, Imperium Classics and Imperium Legends. This game is, I I talked about this a little bit with Funfair a bit ago about, getting into the upper echelon, the upper pantheon of greatest modern Euro card games of all time. Imperium definitely deserves to be there. This is a brilliant deck building game where each player takes on a unique ancient civilization, the Greeks, the Toltecs. I mean, from all around the world. This game really pushes an inclusivity vibe that's wonderful to see. And if you get the Legends expansion, not only does it have more real history, civilizations and empires, but it also has some far out ones like the Arthurian Knights, and so things of legend that you can mix and match. But it's just an incredibly clever deck building game. What you're trying to do in this game is get through your deck as fast as you can. Play your cards as quick as you can, because when you empty it out, depending on which civilization you are, for most civilization, that means you get the chance to go one step closer from being wandering barbarian tribes into a proper empire. And when you do that, midway through the game, everything shifts. Some of your barbarian powers are useless. The super powerful empire cards become activated. So it's a really interesting thing that you do. You want to get all these cards because there's a lot of really great ones that'll really jumpstart your civilization. But the more you do, the more you're fattening up the deck, which means it's going to take you longer to actually become a proper empire, which is when things really go into overdrive. So there's a lot of interesting decisions about trade-offs of what are you really going to focus on. And then on top of that, each of the two boxes, Classics and Legends, each one comes with 8 civilizations, and they're all very unique. If you're playing Atlantis and I'm playing the Arthurians, we're almost playing different games, almost, because we have different objectives, different ways we go about stuff, huge rule-changing things. And so the game, again, if you buy both boxes, but even if you only get one box, has so much room to explore and interesting combinations of stuff. And then, if all that weren't enough, every single card, I believe, has unique art from the Miko, who is my favorite board game artist of all time. I mean, if you like the Miko's art, this is the game to get. You will get more Miko art in this game than any other 3 or 4 of his games combined.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. My only complaint is it also has a little bit of a mean streak. Nothing like Unfair. Maybe something's kind of the equivalent of Terraforming Mars. Hey, let me bring a comet down and mess with you a little bit. And it has a bit, and that's just the thing. It's easily the best game I've played so far this year, easily. But I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it because it has enough PvP in it, which Terraforming Mars had enough PvP to be a problem for our Care Bear ways. But I still want to give a shout out to it because it is the best card game. It's the best card game to come out since Ray's Arcana, quite frankly. And that's from Tom Lehman, who is Mr. Roll for the Galaxy. And this is up there with that. I can't stress just how next tier this is. I suspect as more people play it and it catches on, this I think has the potential to make a lot of top 10 lists at the end of the year when people get their hands on it. Although it is widely available now. And that's my number one. And
what a great number one. I am looking forward. I have not played this one yet, but just based on your description, I am excited to try it. And I love the Miko as well. The art is, oh my gosh, beautiful art. Imperium Classics.
We now turn our eyes to the audience. If they've been discussing right off the bat, I'm seeing calls for Oath. Off the bat, I see 2 Oaths. Oh, I see a Red Rising.
Sleeping Gods.
A Sleeping Gods. Yeah, that was tough to pass over.
I'm going to be, I am surprised, Rahdo. I thought for sure Red Rising would be on your top 5. I thought for sure.
It's a fantastic game. Here's my only complaint about Red Rising. Great design. Love everything about it. To play well does require a little bit of memory. And memory is one of the things we hate most. Because really, to be at my best, I need to remember what card did you take? Because what card am I about to put out there that I'm going to give to you? And it's not the fault of the game, but it's just memory is just not our favorite thing. Yeah. That's kind of what kept it out of upper tier, even though the gameplay is fantastic.
Got it. Yeah. So that prior knowledge would help you out there. I just threw it out there again. Knowledge.
Oh, I see a Destinies. I see a
Destinies.
Traders. I see Seize the Bean. Is Seize the Bean available? If so, I am so happy about that it finally made it.
It's been in development for years, right?
Yes, they've had a very rough. And then just when they were about to cross finish line, boom! COVID smashes them into the ground. No. But I believe it's finally now getting out. Ooh, Lines of Lydia, another excellent choice. Yeah. I don't know. How are we going to pick?
There's so many. So is Cascadia now available? Is it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's not.
Yeah, I think it's just the Kickstarter is being fulfilled right
Canvas
now.
is though, and
Yeah.
Renner is right to point out Canvas as well. That's another excellent one. Furnace would be in my list,
Oh
DJ,
yeah.
but it's not available. So far the reprint hasn't come out, and while it was at a super tiny print run in Russia. I figured, okay, they themselves are considering it a 2021 game, so
Okay.
I left Furnace. Otherwise, Furnace probably would have been my number one game today.
Mm-hmm. I see some people talking about Merv. Is that 2021 or is that 2020?
Merv is officially last year.
Okay,
So it's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I think Sleeping Gods is a strong candidate. Destinies people love that Destinies. But honestly, I mean, it's kind of hard. Meadow, good job, Tommy Miller.
Oh, Meadow.
It broke my heart I couldn't put Meadow on this list. Meadow's like number 6 or number 7.
Was Meadow this year or it's just not available?
I think it's that's a good question. Is it? I didn't actually look because it didn't quite make my list.
Meadow's 2021. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? We could let the wheel choose.
Let's do the wheel.
Bring the wheel back. All right.
Any way we can bring that wheel back.
Let's see. I've told you. Right.
I'll be sure to share it too.
The Wheel of Names. The Wheel of Names is going to return, and I'm going to erase the 400 images. And what do we got? We have got Sleeping Gods.
Yep.
We have got Oath. We have got
Destinies. Was it?
Destinies.
And Canvas was 2021. Is that right?
Canvas was I did Canvas.
Canvas, yep, 2021.
And okay, I see. Looking forward to getting Seize the Bean. I think it's only just now showing up in backers' hands, so I don't think it's widely available yet.
Okay. James says Cascadia Kickstarter just arrived a week ago. Oh, Paleo. Was Paleo this year?
Paleo was last year. That was an Essen release last year.
Yeah,
and just it didn't go wide until this year.
2020. Okay.
Let's see.
We also have
this is a good list of
that was
5.
last year. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Stop. I pushed the button too soon, but you didn't show me. I have to share my screen again, don't I? Yes, I do.
Yeah, share a screen.
All right, hold on a second.
Place it up here.
Refresh the page and let me go back to, what are we in? We are in StreamYards, aren't we?
Yeah.
I have so many tabs. I have all the tabs open. There it is. Okay, sharing is caring, and I would not like to share that one. Oh no, not showing that. Let's go to Chrome tabs. There we go. And let's go back to the Wheel of Names. Boom. And you know what, folks? Wheel of Names is a wonderful little site. I'm going to leave the ads up.
Okay.
I might as well. Hey, folks, maybe you want to consider switching to Chromebook. All right. So the number 10, we'll call it, of the year game is, here we go.
Ooh.
Honestly,
yeah.
That's what I would have chosen.
Really?
Congratulations, Oath. Well done, Leader Games.
Oath.
Accepting on behalf of Leader Games today is Ruel Gaviola. Now, I haven't played it. I bet you haven't either.
I haven't either, yeah.
But for everything I've seen about this game, its ambition rivals or surpasses the ambition of Root and what was their other one? The cave one. Vast.
Yeah.
This wonderful game, and I hope that what they've done here is something that other developers will pick up. The idea that, hey, there's a campaign, but not just a pre-written story that we're going to play through, but rather every time we play the game, the world changes and we put it away, and the next time we play, we continue from that spot. That if you played this game 50 times, your world would have gone through so many ebbs and flows, and different factions rise and fall, and it's a story that wasn't written for you by the designer, but created by you and your friends playing the game. That I love so much. I actually talked about that in one of our 6 games from last month, another game that's coming that will be doing that, the space game that I can't from WizKids. And then on top of that, I guess it's a really good, smart card-driven area control game too, which I have to admit is less interesting to me. But for folks, if you don't know Oath, but you're a fan of Rahdo Runs Through, you're in luck. Shay Parker, he shouldn't be watching. He should be playing this right now because he's going to be filming a run-through for it later this month. So it'll get the Rahdo treatment, and I'll be able to understand what it's all about.
And just right on cue, Shay has just dropped in. He said that he's has a tutorial video coming out at the end of this month. Perfect timing. Well done.
He's on his channel, RTFM, which I will not say what that stands for. You'll get a really great tutorial, and then on our channel, and I include you with that, Ruel. This is your channel now too. You'll get an proper playthrough of what I suspect is going to be one of the hottest games of the year, and it comes in at our number 10 best game so far, Oath. Well
Well
done.
done. Yes.
Oh my
Thank
gosh,
you.
Ruel,
Thank you, friends.
we're out
Wow.
of time.
We're out of time. That was quick. Oh my gosh.
I was worried. I mean, we both have to stop with the jibber jabber.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this would be the time when we actually open the floor to questions from the audience. And we would have given them like 15 minutes, except we should have been out like 5 minutes ago.
Right? Yeah.
First question that comes up, we will answer if one comes up. But otherwise, let's remind them one more time on the way out the door. If you would like to win a copy of Origins, send an email to contest. That's singular, by the way. A lot of people said contests, and that's okay. I found them and I caught them anyway. But contest at Rahdo, I have to manually catch those ones. Or I could actually, I'm just going to set up another filter. So contest or contest, singular or plural, your choice, dealer's choice. The secret word that you must put in the title of that email is
knowledge.
And next week I will get you back. I will sneak something in perfectly.
That's your last chance, friends. Right there, knowledge. Type it in. We're going to shut this down now. There it is. Contest at rahdo.com.
All right. So in that little time, we've got 3 questions. You pick. Have you ever been on a promo card? Do we have any notable expansions we'd like to talk about today? Or why are we both so good looking? Or favorite color?
Favorite color. Okay, I can answer a couple of those. Favorite color is Dodger blue or Lakers purple. So I got 2. Have I ever been on promo card? I've been on one promo card. There's a game called Promenade that came out a couple of years ago from Tate Wu. It's a really cool game, and it just got picked up by a company that's going to retheme it. But I was on a card called the Gaviola money card or something like that. It's a deck building / market manipulation game where you're buying art, fine art. It's a really cool game. Have you played that one, Rahdo, Promenade? Oh, it's so good.
No, I have not. I'm sure it's great, but it looks so abstract. I mean, it's just like a very old-fashioned card game. I'm sure it's great.
It's let me see.
Just never got around to it. Plus, if I recall correctly, it has a really mean streak. No. I'm thinking of the Arboretum. I'm thinking of Arboretum when I say
Arboretum is mean. Yeah. Murder trees, as we call it. Yeah. Murder trees is definitely
murder trees. Exactly.
Favorite color. What about you? Favorite color, or have you been on expansion or card?
If you sit down and play a game with me and you end up choosing green, I'm just going to warn you right now. I will end up moving your stuff. I can't help myself. I'm all about the green. My fallback is yellow, and beyond that, it doesn't really matter. So I'm a very earthen, growing green, and also very bright and sunny disposition. So those are my 2 favorites. I've also been on at least one promo card, which I'm so fond of because it's by the Miko. It was a promo for Villages of Valeria, the Rahdo Guild, and it's just an awesome picture. I feel very charmed to have that.
That's so cool.
We are out of here then, I believe.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, friends.
Okay, we'll be back in just whatever 7 times 24 hours is from now. And we'll be crowning another winner of Origins from Board and Dice Games. We'll have another hot topic, and we'll try to give some more time for questions and answers from the audience. We'll try. We make no promises.
No promises, but yes, we will try, folks. And we want to thank you again for joining us today. Always appreciate you spending part of your day with us here on the R&R Show. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the man himself to lead us out.
All right. Bye-bye.